Welcome, educators, to this explainer based on the fantastic resource produced by Prof. Hormaza. Look, if you've felt a weird shift in your classroom lately during test time, trust me, you are definitely not alone. The whole exam landscape is completely shifted. And it's not because our students have suddenly changed overnight. It's because the tools sitting right in their pockets have completely transformed. Today, we're diving into a real teacher-to-teacher approach for preserving fairness. Our big goal here? To absolutely protect the integrity of our evaluations, but, and this is key, without turning our classrooms into some sort of hostile security checkpoint.
Okay, here is our quick roadmap for today. We'll be going over 1. The new exam reality. 2. The cheating loop explained. 3. Modern devices and signs. 4. Countermeasures to preserve fairness. And 5. The guardian of fairness. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The new exam reality. Shifting our mindset from policing to fairness. Let's be real for a second. None of us got into education to be security guards, right? We're here for the learning, the growth, those aha moments. But when a phone is no longer just a phone and a watch is basically a supercomputer on a wrist, we have to adapt. The trick is we need to stop trying to be tech experts. Seriously, stop chasing the gadgets. Instead, we just need to ask one absolutely crucial question. Could this device allow a student to store, capture, transmit, receive, or privately view information during the exam? That's it. Asking that single question brilliantly shifts our focus away from fueling paranoia and brings it right back to where it belongs, preserving fairness for everyone.
Moving on to Section 2. The cheating loop explained. Demystifying the technology.
Okay, so let's cut through the noise here. It is time to break down what feels like a crazy, complex tech landscape into one simple, totally predictable behavioral mechanism. It all boils down to a 3-step cheating loop. First, the student externalizes the question. They get it out of the controlled exam room. Second, that question is processed by someone or something outside of the student's own brain. And third, the answer re-enters the exam room. The wild thing is, the technology changes literally every single day. But this basic 3-step pattern, it always stays exactly the same.
Let's actually picture how this loop functions in practice, because it's fascinating. A student might externalize the test by snapping a quick, practically invisible photo, or even taking a recording from their smart glasses. Then, it gets processed. Maybe it's instantly fed into an AI tool, or maybe it's solved in a real-time WhatsApp chat by friends hanging out outside the room. Finally, they re-enter the answer. This could be a tiny vibration pushed to a smartwatch, a whisper through a micro earpiece, or even just plain old memory after a really long bathroom break. It is astonishing how capable these everyday items are now. But the good news? If we just disrupt this loop, the exam becomes fair again.
Section 3. Modern devices and signs. Recognizing the tools and behaviors. So what does this modern toolkit actually look like? It's vast, for sure, but we can recognize it without encouraging classroom paranoia. We're talking about phones sitting out of sight in a pocket, but actively feeding data to a smartwatch. We've got smart glasses that look exactly like standard prescription frames, but hide little digital displays. There are these tiny earbuds easily hidden by hair or a hoodie. And of course, networked group chats that actively leak questions. Honestly, even a humble pen or a classic calculator can act as a secret digital note bank today. The big takeaway here is that a student doesn't even need to be openly holding a device to be benefiting from it. Now, we have to pause here, because this next point is absolutely vital to communicate to our students. We need to clearly differentiate between collaborative studying, which is fantastic, we love it, we want to encourage it, and actual exam leakage. Sharing live questions, screenshots, or hints online gives future test takers advanced knowledge. And let's be blunt, that completely destroys fair evaluation. It's not studying together anymore, it's just a leak. We also need to pay close attention to behavioral patterns in the room. Keep an eye out for a student taking an unusually early bathroom break right after scanning the test paper. Watch for that classic hidden hand behavior under the desk or hovering near a jacket pocket. Notice if there are sudden, dramatic performance shifts right after they come back from a break. And look out for what we call retrieval mode. This is where a student exhibits listening behavior or repeated touching near their ear while writing, which then mysteriously stops entirely when they switch to just reviewing their answers. Now, to be clear, these aren't absolute proof of anything, but they are absolutely indicators of risk.
Let's flip the script and talk solutions. Section 4. Countermeasures to preserve fairness. Actionable steps for the classroom.
The absolute best defense: establish a rock-solid fairness routine before you even hand out a single piece of paper. You've got to set clear, universal expectations up front. Do a last call for the bathroom. Ensure all phones, smartwatches, and connected devices are entirely powered off and stored completely out of sight. Have all earbuds removed, and make sure desks only hold explicitly approved materials. Just the essentials.
And hey, if you are wondering exactly how to phrase this without sounding like a drill sergeant, feel free to just pause this explainer right now and literally copy this script. Notice how empathetic the framing is? You are telling them explicitly, I am not doing this because I think anyone is cheating. This simple explanation removes the accusation entirely and roots your whole routine firmly in the concept of fairness. Next up, make the room observable, but again, without making it hostile. Ask students to keep their forearms visible and hoods off, always. Always making sure to respect any official medical or religious accommodations, of course. And here's a highly effective, super simple structural trick. Leave the last row of the classroom completely empty if you have the space. This one simple step lets you walk calmly and supervise the whole room from multiple angles without hovering over anyone's shoulder and making them nervous.
Okay, we also really need to structure bathroom breaks with dignity. These breaks represent a massive opportunity for students to externalize and process exam content. To mitigate this, consider a rule of absolutely no breaks in the first 20 to 30 minutes. When breaks do happen, it's one person out at a time, requiring a quick sign out and sign in. The exam must stay flipped face down on their desk, and crucially, this is a big one, all phones and bags must stay behind in the exam room.
And just like our fairness routine, here's the precise language you can use to enforce these bathroom rules respectfully. By openly stating that the rules apply to everyone equally and that they exist solely to reduce opportunities for unfair outside help, you preserve the absolute integrity of the room while still maintaining the student's dignity. It's a win-win. Now, on the actual exam design side, we have some highly effective countermeasures too. Try using alternate paper versions of exams. This completely short-circuits networked group chat cheating. If you allow open notes, limit them strictly to a single, double-sided, handwritten page. Why? Because this prevents the misuse of unlimited AI-generated templates and actually forces the student to organize their own thoughts beforehand. Furthermore, try to design your questions so they require the application of concepts, not just raw memorization of facts. And here is one of the most powerful design tools you can possibly use. Add a tiny proof of thinking requirement. Frame it like this. Ask them to justify their answer in a single sentence using a course concept. Just 20 words. This doesn't turn a multiple-choice test into a giant essay, but it does make their thinking visible. As you can explain to them, this little step actually protects their honest work from ever being confused with copied or AI-generated answers. Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, The Guardian of Fairness, What Not to Do and Concluding Thoughts. Here is a rapid-fire look at what not to do. Never, ever accuse a student based purely on an instinct or a feeling. Do not police eyewear by appearance. Standard prescription glasses are not the problem here. Unauthorized recording functions are. Never ignore official accommodations. Never shame a student over their bathroom needs. And above all else, never let the classroom feel like a hostile environment. We are teachers, not wardens. To foster that positive environment we want, consider sharing a welcoming, student-facing one-pager long before the exam even begins. Explain the why behind all these rules. Let them know up front that these procedures aren't threats. They exist solely to protect their honest work and their privacy. Because when students read language like this, assuring them that the goal is a perfectly level playing field where literally no one has a hidden advantage, they are incredibly more likely to accept the procedures. They start to see the rules as legitimate, protective measures rather than just arbitrary punishments from the teacher. Ultimately, technology is going to keep evolving. It's a guarantee. New AI tools and crazy hidden devices will emerge next year and the year after that. We cannot possibly chase every single new device, but guess what? We don't have to. We can absolutely protect the integrity of our evaluations just by focusing on that cheating loop we talked about and implementing standard empathetic routines. It doesn't make us police officers, it makes us guardians of fairness. I'm going to leave you with this final, vital thought to reflect on for your own classroom practice. Are your current exam procedures creating a culture of suspicion, or are they visibly, actively protecting the honest effort of every single student in your room? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and good luck out there.